Welcome to the Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport, and thank you for clicking through to find out a little bit more about my exhibition, Coherence and Unity. This is Jennifer Prince, and I'm going to take you through my studio door to find out more about my work and how it's made. These pieces are part of a larger body of work titled Unfolding the Space in Between. Like much of my work, they investigate the invisible architecture of the universe, the forces and systems that hold things together and keep life running. By nature, I'm a studio artist, and you're seeing a small glimpse into the way that I use my sketchbook to work out ideas through drawing, writing, and just quick sketches. That's always the beginning for me. Once I have an idea, a large piece of canvas is placed on my studio wall. It goes from being this bulky, folded up mass into being tight and taut and a surface that's ready to be worked on. In order to get crisp, clean lines for this series, I draw with masking tape, using it over and over again to create the forms that will come through in the finished paintings. As you can see, this process takes quite a bit of time due to the scale of the work and through working out the patterns in each piece. So here you see me modeling what I refer to as studio jewelry, the leftovers of one day's worth of work. I do go through a lot of tape. Once the tape is down, in order to get crisp edges, each piece has to be hand burnished to seal the tape into the canvas. This step alone burns a good 1,000 calories. Once it's burnished and sealed, the tape is ready to be rubbed with a water-soluble pigment. This point does get my hands dirty, as you can see. Then once everything has again been sealed with matte media, I can remove the tape. And this process is usually fun. I can see the image evolving and all the hard work that I've put in coming to shape. Once the piece has been painted, then I have some decisions to make. And this is the part that gets a little tricky, as the canvases often get cut and interrupted. As you can see from the finished piece, the painting is interrupted by photographs printed onto silk and other fabrics. So let's talk about the reasons behind and how that's done. With the move from Los Angeles back to the Southeast, I started taking photographs of the sky, just documenting the awe at what was over my head. Over time, that crept into my practice. The sky is amazing. Every culture on our planet has a myth series about it, and if it wasn't for that 10-mile swath of gases over our head, life on this planet wouldn't exist. So I continue to use it as a metaphor as such within my work. The photographs that I take, as you saw just before, are printed out onto fabric that are specially backed with paper so I can run them through an inkjet printer. This process takes a little bit more time and care to make sure the fabric doesn't get stuck or rip while going through the inkjet printer. Then I go back and start to look at what I've painted yet again. And making the decisions on where things will be cut. This is the part that sometimes feels dramatic for some people, but I know it was part of the intention from the beginning. Here you see on the studio floor a large canvas that's been cut, the printed silk elements next to it, and my handy scissors and thimble. A lot of the times it's just easiest to sew these pieces by hand. Once the sewing is done, I have other decisions to make in regards to how I handle the fabric. I typically stretch the canvas tight to reinforce those expectations of painting, but the printed fabric is often allowed to wrinkle, to materialize gravity as it falls down off the stretcher bars, and things of that nature that interrupt the organized structure of the painting. So then the finished piece contains both sides of nature. The system that is represented through the clean delineated lines, that shimmer on the eye surface, but are interrupted by these flourishes of color through the photographic elements on the lighter weight fabric. And so there you go. I have walked you through my process from beginning to end, sketchbook to painting, messy hands, cutting and sewing. Thank you for your time. I hope you've enjoyed these works, and feel free to reach out to me on Instagram or through my website.